had been searching online for weeks for a small appliance, a countertop coffee grinder that would replace my old, rattling one. When I saw an ad from a local seller, the price was perfect, and they assured me it was in like-new condition. I exchanged a few messages with them, and they agreed to meet that evening at their apartment. I hesitated for a moment. It was already late, and meeting strangers at night isn't something I normally do. But the deal was good, and I told myself it was nothing unusual. The street where their building stood was quiet, almost too quiet. Streetlights flickered intermittently, casting pools of dim light on cracked sidewalks. The apartment complex itself looked old, paint peeling, doors a little warped, mailboxes dented. I parked my car in front, telling myself not to overthink it, though my stomach was tense. I knocked on the door. A man in his 40s opened it almost immediately. He had a calm expression, holding the coffee grinder in both hands. "Here you go," he said, his voice polite, almost rehearsed. I thanked him, handed over the money, and he watched me as I carried the appliance down the steps. There was something about the way he lingered in the doorway, like he was memorizing the sight of me leaving. I tried to ignore it, but a chill ran down my spine. The walk back to my car was quiet, the usual city noises absent. I kept glancing over my shoulder. Nothing. Still, I felt eyes on me, a lingering awareness that someone had followed me, or at least someone had paid attention. I shrugged it off. My anxiety was probably just heightened by the quiet street in the late hour. When I got home, I locked my apartment door as usual, placed the coffee grinder on my kitchen counter, and tried to relax. The first night was uneventful, or so I thought. Around 2 a.m., I woke to a subtle sound, the faintest creak from the hallway outside my bedroom. I froze. My bedroom door, which I had locked from the inside, was slightly ajar. My heart thumped in my chest. I live alone. I haven't had visitors in weeks. I sat there, tense, listening to my own breathing. Nothing moved. I checked the door, it was still closed, now locked. I told myself it must have been a dream, a trick of the mind. But sleep did not return easily. The next day I started noticing small, unsettling things. A misplaced shoe near the entrance, though I had left them in the closet. My keys on the counter had shifted slightly. Nothing was missing, nothing damaged, but the feeling of being watched had settled deep into my chest. I installed a small security camera by the door. Every evening after work, I checked the footage. Sometimes it was normal, me entering, me leaving. But other times, there were faint, nearly imperceptible movements, shadows that didn't belong, fleeting shapes that passed just out of frame. At first, I tried to rationalize it. Maybe the lighting, maybe bugs, maybe the reflection of my own movements. Still, I began noticing other signs. Tiny scratches near the door lock, shallow but precise. They hadn't been there before. A few times I thought I heard the faintest tapping, soft, deliberate, almost like fingernails tracing a surface. But when I got up, there was nothing. Weeks passed and the tension only grew. I began locking every window, double-checking doors multiple times before leaving or sleeping. Every sound became amplified. The hum of the refrigerator, the creak of the floorboards, the rustle of the heating vents. I started sleeping with a baseball bat nearby, my phone within reach at all times. One night, I woke again to a soft, deliberate knock on the door. My body froze. I didn't move. The knocking stopped. I waited, holding my breath, heart hammering. Minutes passed. No one was outside. The camera footage showed nothing. Completely empty hallways, empty lobby, no one in sight. But I knew it wasn't my imagination. Something, or someone, was testing me, observing me. I started changing my routines. I left for work at different times, took different routes, sometimes pretending to go out when I stayed in. Yet no matter what precautions I took, the sense of being watched never left. Even when I was home alone, I felt it. A presence lingering just outside my perception, patient, waiting. Sometimes I would catch glimpses from the corner of my eye. A shadow near the doorframe that wasn't there a moment before. A slight shift in the lighting that suggested movement. I knew it was probably nothing, but my gut told me differently. The apartment, once a place of comfort, now felt like a cage. I dreaded nighttime. I dreaded silence. Every creak of the floor, every rattle of the air vent, made me tense. And yet, I couldn't leave, couldn't abandon my home. I still use the coffee grinder, though every time I reach for it, I feel a prickling awareness as if someone is behind me, observing, noting my every movement. The small appliance, once innocuous, has become a symbol of everything that went wrong that night. The transaction that should have been simple but left me feeling exposed, vulnerable, and terrified in my own home. And sometimes when I sit in the dark, I swear I hear a faint scratch near the door. Just a soft, deliberate sound, almost like someone is testing it, waiting for me to notice. I lock the door again, but the feeling doesn't go away. The locked apartment is no longer secure. Even now, I can't sleep without checking every corner, every lock, every shadow. Because I know deep down that someone, or something, has been watching. And they might still be.